Mhm. Good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Carol Matebula here saying hi, 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 hi. Now, as you know, that I've been speaking a lot recently about this Black Matters thing, and I really want to emphasize on it. I don't want to stop around this subject because this subject, it needs attention, and it needs attention, and it needs attention, and it needs attention. Now, I've been watching a video not long ago of a black man apologizing, saying that we have no right to complain about racism. If we complain about racism, it's because if we want to put white people less than us, we want to blame, and I think that's completely full of nonsense here. And I am saying this because everybody suffers with racism. Every one of us suffers with racism. I speak around racism because I suffer with racism, and I have suffered with racism. I've been screamed, I've been screamed upon in restaurants. I've been humiliated in restaurants, being followed in shops as you buy your stuff. As a black person, you've got people at the back of you sometimes looking at you as if you're gonna steal things. You know, there's just things that you go through as a black person daily, that sometimes you think to yourself, what's going on with this world? Why the world treats you the way it does? And to hear a black man saying that black people are trying to make white people to feel inferior and to make them feel guilty. It's not our story to make anyone to feel guilty, but what's our story is that when you see so much violence, when you see so much injustice, when you see so much people living in poverty, just because of the system makes resides on others to suffer, so that they can be a lack of standard in living, in living, just for the rights of people to live, to be born, and to be free. People aren't free, and it's all over the world, and black people suffer the most with this. Now, I am not racist at all, and I've I was saying to somebody that when South Africa, especially I am from South Africa, and when Mandela came out of prison in 1990 February, I was watching, but I didn't know what was going on in the world. After Mandela won the election and he was a president, and suddenly I needed to find out what's going on in the world. I needed to find out, is it only a racism, a story of South Africa, or is the story of the world? So of course I packed my bags and I went to the world. What I discovered in the world, it was worse than what I have discovered back home. Everybody seemed as if they were so loving, but when you go out there and you are all individual, there is this pain. There is this hidden pain that you were given. Either you go to a party, you find yourself one way or the other, there's someone who's going to make you feel like you don't belong here. People in Belgium, I remember I had this amazing afro, and people came, and the way they touched my hair, oh, it's so woolly, and made you feel as if the hair you own, it is not something that was right. And or somebody saying to me, because of course I was married to a white man, which is he's my best friend even today, and somebody telling me that, okay, now you have married your god, the poverty, it's gone, you are never going to suffer again because of your white god is going to give you now a better life. And at that present moment, I was doing well, I was very successful in my own right, and be called prostitute and all these things. And this whenever I went to parties, everybody will try to hide me, the fact that I was a part of their gathering. And these things happen. So I don't think this much for this Black Lives Matters. It is not a march to make anyone feel guilty. If people are feeling guilty, this guilt has been created by the system for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And if George Floyd was not killed like an animal like that, I don't think it could have been bad as it is. And also another thing as well is that the coronavirus started, it started in China, for God's sake, far, far away from the Black nations. And what happened? Quickly, the virus was suddenly twisted away and turned around, and suddenly Black people were dying in numbers. You could see the videos where nurses were crying, saying, these people are being murdered. We see them, they leave them there rot, and then they die because of we are not protected. And I don't care who says what. I really don't care. I really don't care. I probably this can affect my life in a big way. But you know what? I understand, because I wouldn't want to see generations to come going through the nonsense like this. Racism, for me, it's something that people have to take responsibility on, by not making other people feel less. Yes, in terms of financials and layers on how to live, it's in our hands. We have to do our best as Black communities to work together, to put ourselves and to have an end goal. Where are we going in terms of making our life better? But we know that we can't, because we are not allowed to own properties in the world unless if you have lots of money. You are not allowed to own mortgage unless if you have, so there's lots of pieces and puzzles that keeps the Black nations intact in a corner. I myself, I've experienced that. And I've experienced that in many, many, many ways, that I was not blocked by anyone, but by the system. When I came to Europe, I went all over the world. I trained everyone. But those who are in control of my movement, I remember actually one Belgian man asking me a question. And that Belgian man was going to be my partner into my business. And he said to me, how come, as a Black woman, you had the power to navigate through my continent so easily without being detected by anyone? And I smiled because I thought this guy was kind of, saying to me, bravo, Carol, for your hard work. Oh, no, I didn't know, because immediately this guy became a partner into my business. And of course, they were going to pay a business that I owned for over 18 years. And suddenly they took my business. I signed papers, massive papers, even though something in me felt like, Carol, be careful, they might take your business. And I thought to myself, Carol, do not trust. Give these people the benefit of the doubt. Within a month, everything was sealed. My business was sealed. My clientele was sealed. My products were sealed. And I was left with zero, because of I wanted to be a good neighbors of the world, and I thought, let them come in. They want to come. You understand? And today, my business, what that was flourishing. It was getting to Germany. It was getting to France. It was getting to the Middle East. It was really, really. I was on the peak of my strength that I worked so hard for. And guess who broke that? A white man. White men came and took that away from me, and I had no system to help me. I went to South Africa, trying to find the lawyers, and they asked me, do you have money? If you don't have money, there's no system we can help you. And guess what? A business that I ran, that I started from zero for 18 years, going to all different parts of the world, suddenly it was broken. By who? By white people. And not only that, when you go to restaurants, for you to enter there, you have to enter with always having a shield over you, that the injustice, the way of being made to feel as if you're not a human. We go through this. I go through it, especially if you are dating a white man. Because of course I was married to a white man. I became more a target, because you are blamed. What are you doing in our community? So when you complain about these things, it is not because of you are trying to make other people feel guilty. If you're feeling guilty, you've got something. Because if you think you don't do nothing wrong, why should you feel guilty? It's not a matter of feeling guilty. It's a matter of re-educating yourself as communities to understand that all life matters. But all life matters can only matter when we start realizing that we are living in a bubble. And in that bubble, all of us, we feel the pressure of the bubble. I'm not saying that a Black person should live better than anyone. Definitely not. And I'm saying that the black people themselves, they have to do their level best to up their game by kind of working together and having a clear dialogue of where they are going, because no one can put the food in our table but ourselves. Nobody, no, a white man shouldn't stop to give a black person a job unless if a black person creates that themselves. And so there are different things that we have to look at here. It's not that we want to make people feel guilty. I am not the one to make feel people guilty, but I disagree on the treatment that I receive. I disagree to be treated as constitutionally irrelevant. Look what happened to Meghan Markle. This poor woman married that young man there from the royal family because she loved him. And all the thing, she was scrutinized, and even today she's still scrutinized because of the color of their skin. Her baby, the moment the baby came out, they took out the picture of a chimpanzee coming out of a prison, coming out of hospital, meaning that poor woman, her baby was a monkey. These things are still happening. And as long as we denying this truth, it is that there will never be a change. The fact that the people can kill the white cops can kill a black man, and there are videos to be seen that they were killed, but the system immune them. They get immune. What is that? And then they say we have to do research to find out how do the men get killed. They walk freely because of their life of a black man does not matter. And this is the fact. Now, as a black person, if you try to have a good name in the world by saying that black people are trying to make white people to feel less of themselves, and we are trying, completely nonsense. I mean, I saw this guy on video and I'm thinking, what the hell is he talking about? The mere fact is that there is a struggle in this world and we see it. I mean, it's there. I lived in the United Kingdom. It was what I saw. I was shocked because I only thought that people who struggles are people in the continent of Africa, and you realize that actually this is a global pain. It's a global dilemma. It's a global madness where we don't understand that we are actually brothers and sisters, and only then, if I can respect you because of you are of the West, you can respect me because I'm from of African continent, or I can respect you because you are an Asian person. This is when the moment of life will begin. The lack of respect happens. You can deny it or not. And sometimes people, that's why they call it selling your soul. I, on the other hand, I've got a power actually to sell my soul and to live beautifully on a financial level. That it's not a problem. I do not struggle in terms of where I live. I don't struggle with financials. But I see the injustice. It happens to me. You see where I'm living at this moment. People can throw the garbage in my home, especially that now that I have made the garden so beautiful. People come and destroy my plants. So you can just enter into your garden and just break your flowers because they've got a right to do it. You're not from here. You are from Africa. So these things are happening. It is not the mere fact of we want to live on top of anyone. We're saying let's respect. If the two kids go to school, to kindergartens, let them be treated equally. And we see these things. Health departments. How often do you see people of our color being used as guinea pigs? We know this. There was a man recently when they were testing this coronavirus and they put him into this place and he was forced, even though he said no, and his voice didn't matter, and they injected him and these things happened. They happen. And I'm saying that nobody should hate anyone. As I will say again, everybody life matters. The white life matters, the black life matters. The only thing that we need to deal with is an education system that teaches how to hate. The system that teaches the injusticeness, that you are superior, you are low. We took you as slaves and you will remain the slave in our eyes. There are places, there are countries today that Black people are still used as slaves. So these are the issues that I'm struggling with. At this present moment, I'm struggling a lot with racism. Massive, massive struggle that even my friend himself struggled, does not know how to deal with it. I have to teach him to be strong so that I do not get because sometimes he gets angry at me because of he does not know how to deal with it. And we talk about it and we say racism, it's painful. And it happens. It happens. It happens. And we do not need, I do not think, in my view, I think I'm going to point out 10 things that I think I need to see as a Black person so that I can be understood out there, because people don't understand where I'm coming from, because I've been sharing my thoughts. I've been sharing because since I was born, and this is the point one, since I was born as a Black woman, and being introduced to the world of the layers and the mapping of the world, I was told that I had to do my best so that I can blend into the Western world. You got to speak English better because of you're gonna have to go look for a job. And then I thought to myself, what is this? What is this? So I was really, really trained to. They wanted to train me to be the better work so that I can serve the European system. And so I wanted to find out what is this about, this European system. So I did learn that English to the best of my ability that I could, even though it's not the best, but I had to do that so that I can be able to engage with the Western world. I wonder if the Western world was taught that. The Western kids, are they taught to learn the African languages so that they can be able to deal with the African system or the Black system? And the answer is not. Why do they need it? It's not so important. The Black education, it's not important. The Black education, it's zero, even though lots of people reside behind it on the secret side of things. And I wonder, why is it my life so less than anyone else? Why am I not looked as someone who can give wisdom and knowledge in this world? Yes, few of people are succeeding. Yes, you talk about the Barack Obama. You talk about the Oprah Winfrey's. You talk about the Beyonces. But they had to dilute themselves so that they could get into the system. And this is the fact. Now, once you stay who you are, you stay Black, you stay respectful to who you are, you gotta lose some things. And I myself, I stay well corrected of who I am. I'm not of the race issue. I'm not in this world to talk about the race and injustice, but I'm here to say I am an African and I'm very proud to be an African. And I see what's happening. It's done to me and I fight it and I say, no, no, I am not gonna live like my father or my forefathers or my forefathers or my forefathers. I'll do whatever in my power to live in this world freely without me being minimized to a certain standard, without me being told that I have to adjust or adapt into a system where people don't adapt. We speak French. You learn to speak French. You learn to speak Netherlands. You learn to speak Portuguese. You learn to speak even Chinese. Do people learn our languages? Simple as that. Black restaurants, very seldom you see them succeeding in the market. How often do you go around in the world and you'll see Black establishments that are mingling with everyone's businesses? You don't see us nowhere. We are there somewhere hidden in the back curtains. And I'm saying this because I've traveled, I've had conversations, I've had gatherings of people. I have had different stories from all walks of life to try to research what the hell is going on. And my research was to understand that people don't want to give up the old systems. The world, it's seemingly somehow it's moving into the new, seemingly, but the old system that works for others, that system still runs very, very deeply today. And people are fighting to keep those system intact. So other people can say, yes, I am a slave. Yes, I'm useless. Yes, I come from the third world. Yes, I do not have. And I said, no way, no how. So this is not really a racism issue. This is for people to really check themselves and say, when other people can cry tears of what's happening to them on the daily, and somebody comes and say, oh no, you try to make the other people to feel guilty. It's not a matter of making people to feel guilty. Or maybe it's high time that people feel guilty so that they can really realize that nobody has a right to treat anyone less or to make other people struggle to just to survive. Just to survive. We are not born to survive. We are born to strive. And every individual has a right to strive. So I, as a Black person, I'm saying loud and clear, Black Lives Matters. Seeing the bodies of people being killed. Some of them are not videotaped. The marches in Brexit. I was in the United Kingdom recently, and what you could hear was, okay, this Brexit. We want to get rid of the migration, the black people, racism again, singed out loud through this Brexit. And who talked about that? Who said that let's not bring the foreigners in? You understand? Seeing people trying to escape from Africa in boats and being killed into the water, and you see these things happening. And we come here and say racism does not exist. Hello. Let us find a way to make people who are doing these things, for them to see it, for them to see it. It's high time that we all open our eyes and see we are human race. And human race, it means that in that human race, we all belong in that box. And either we are yellow, we are green, we are blue, we are pink, we belong into that box. And in that box, we should all celebrate. We should all find ways on how to deal with the pressures of daily as community. So for me, I'm saying today, Black Lives Matters, everyone's life matters, white people's life matters. But what I'm trying to say is that do not look at me and think that I'm going to think that I'm constitutionally irrelevant, because I am not. The moment you're enforcing your rules, and that's what happens. We just spoke, me and William, today, and what we said is that racism is painful because of its people. It's people who make you believe that we are gonna scar your soul. We're gonna make sure that you don't live in this world freely. And I really don't think that's what we are saying, as Black people with this Black Lives Matters. We're not saying give us the world. We are not saying don't be who you are. We are not saying, we don't even have words, fake words for you. We are called niggers. We are called kefirs. We are called all these things. If you can ask me any negative name about a white person, I have no clue what to call them. Isn't that so? Isn't that amazing? At the age of 49, going to 50, I still do not have a nickname that is bad for white people. The only thing that I have in my mind is that I've been treated so bad over and over and over and over, even today. Just last week only, I've experienced at least 5 times racism acts in front of my friends. And that friend of mine as well, he has lost. And that's another thing, isn't it? If you are a white guy or a white woman going mixed with a black, immediately you are outcast out of your group. And this is the fact. You'll be treated in a certain way, but you start feeling that itch and pains and how your society treats you, because somewhere, somehow, you have lost the hierarchy because of you have went down into the stage of a black person. And I know this for the fact. So when we say Black Lives Matters, please don't feel guilty, but do something. Have a dialogue. Let's start maybe having talks about, what do I mean when I say a black life matters? So I have said 10 things. 1, leave me alone. Let me be your friend. Don't be terrified by my presence. That's number 1. Don't be terrified by my presence. Get to know me. Number 2, do not assume that I come from starvation. You don't know me. Africa is not starving as everybody think it is. We've got the richest soil in this planet. We've got all tomatoes, they grow in this big number. We've got everything that you should think we have. So when you call me the third world, starvation, and you also have uh this campaigns of Red Cross and etc., taking the picture of a child probably walking naked because that's what we do, and then the kids have something on their nose, and then they've got a little bit of a belly, and suddenly you walk around, and then people are making money out of our kids without even asking our help, and saying Africa is dying on a mercy of the West has to save Africa. That's not right. There's lots of things that I see in Europe that I think that Europe could do better there. Europe is excelling there. Europe is amazing when it comes to unity and togetherness, and I love that. There are lots of things that I look at on the daily, and I think, wow, if only African people can be united as the white people are, our lives can be better. So there are lots of good things that we see that we want to mimic ourselves so that we can learn from you. And for us to travel around the world, we travel for these things. We travel for the good things, we travel for the bad things. So don't be terrified by my present. That's number one. Know that I'm here to learn from you so I can also teach you something. Number two, I am not, as I said, I'm not inferior. And I'm not going to live under always being reminded that I'm constitutionally irrelevant, which I'm not. And this, you get it. The conversations, there's this slyness that we don't feel free. And I don't know, maybe you can tell me as a white person, what do we do wrong to make you feel uncomfortable? It's that uncomfortability that I talk about. That, how do you call it again? How do you call it? There are ways that you'll be made to feel, and you only have to protect yourself and cover yourself and protect yourself because of somewhere somehow people don't feel comfortable to be seen with you. Yes, those who get seen with you, hallelujah, I clap for them, but often you struggle in this world to be seen as a black person because of somewhere somehow there's a caste that you think you are in. And it's feeling that I have, and I can't really deny this feeling. So I'm not constitutionally irrelevant. That's number two. Number three, my money is not dirty. If I go to the shop, and this is something also very important, you guys, because I struggle when I go. For example, I'm busy redesigning the garden, and when you go to these garden shops to try to buy your stuff, immediately you entered, you are treated wrong. They will tell you to go there, and sometimes they'll tell you in. It's not everybody doing this. Don't get me wrong. It's not all the white people who are doing these things, but somewhere somehow those white people who are doing this are the ones who are giving a wrong name to all the white people. So for me, I would say the white people because it was done by white people. But me saying the white people, I don't mean that all the white people are like that. I'm saying that when I come to your shops, and probably you do not like black people, you are in a certain movement, and you realize that you've got a shop that it's open, and the moment that shop is open, it's open to everyone. Leave your politics aside and serve, because my job is to just come and buy because of I chose your shop, because I think that your shop would serve me with pride and honor. You don't have to praise me. You don't even have to say hello. Just point me on what I want. Serve with your with the rules of your shop, instead of you making me feel like I am dirty, and instead of you pinpointing and not looking at me and feeling like I'm something that smells or something. My money does not smell. I'm just a consumer. Realize that when it comes to consumer, we are all consumers. And for me to come to your shop, it's just like the next person who's coming to your shop, because this is where it gets really, really hard when you go out there to purchase things as individual and you get treated very wrong. Sometimes you are standing in the queue and people do things in this queue. They jump you, they stand in front of you, and then suddenly you have nowhere to run and they are enforcing this pain. So there are small things sometimes, but there's also big things. So when you see me going out there to come to your shop and shop, You don't have to say hello. You just point me where I have to go, and soon I get my stuff. I go, or you can tell me right in my face that I don't belong to your shop instead of being treated in a certain way silently. It hurts. Number four is that when I go to restaurants, and this is what I have gotten in the past, that I was given most of time food that was really really old, and you could see that this food was old. And one day I even fought. I had to fight to be understood. This person gave me rotten food, and he said to me, so sorry, that food, at least you are eating something. In Africa, you wouldn't even be able to eat this. Did you know who I was? No. I had to then go and fight. So when I come to your restaurant, I'm coming because it's kind of therapeutic thing for me to decide that, you know what, today I'm not going to cook. I'm going to go to a restaurant to eat something. So enjoy the fact that I have chosen your space as a place for me to reconnect with myself and just relax as you're serving, because that's your passion. Do not treat me in a certain way. Do you see? So there are lots of things. And often what you do, you have to sit there and suddenly they've taken your space. You sit there and you're going to have to eat and you don't know what to do because of your space has been stolen. These are the things that I'm talking about. And then number five is when you see me on the street walking with your white brother. I am not here because of I'm here because of I'm a prostitute somewhere. I'm not here because of I was hungry. I'm not here because of your brother is giving me a better life, a life that I never had back home. Because that's a narrative that you also get. You get people looking at your character, looking at at your demeanor. You are this proud woman, and then they give you a feeling. They look at you as they pass you home, like, what are you doing in that house? You don't belong in that house. And they say it not out loud, but they say it in their action. And often you have to kind of hide yourself, that you don't enjoy your home fully to the fullest because of somebody believes that you don't deserve to be there. Why are you there? And that's when then they start throwing garbage in your home. That's when then they start making you feel like you are not belonging here. That's why when the postman drop things and you open that door, it's like, what the hell are you doing here? They start throwing things on your face, or they throw it to you on you, and you have to always fight to try to protect yourself, because constitutionally you do not deserve to live well. And these are the facts. And these facts, I am going through them. And what is another one? What is another one? Yes, like, for example, I was walking on the street recently, that was in London, and this white guy came from nowhere, and he looked at me first, and you could see he was catching this anger in my face, and he stepped on his car. If I didn't run, that man could have run me down. And I experienced these things. I experienced them. And another one, this aggressive. And that's the thing. You have to also remember there are different kinds of white people, as you have different kinds of black people. Now, you've got the good ones who are very, very amazing, who are just really here to say we are humans and we are here to live life with everyone. Then you've got those who are supreme, those who are fighting for this world. You might call them the KKK, those who are believing in the swastika, and you never know who's wearing a swastika or not. Now, when I get attacked by someone who believes in the swastika, someone who's of the extreme, who does not believe in anyone who's a nationalist, and I have no clue, I'm going to see that person as a white person. So for me, being black, it means the imbalances of the madness of the white community. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's bad. When I meet you, I meet a white person. Yes, I meet a gentle white person, but I also meet the KKK, who's gonna make me believe that I don't deserve this life. So when I come and say Black Life Matters, I'm talking to the one who wants me out. I'm talking about the one who wants me killed. I'm talking about the ones whereby recently we had many, many, many times that things like HIV and AIDS, it was actually a weapon. it was done as weaponry to reduce the numbers, especially in South Africa. As in South Africa, there was this new revolution taking place, and lots of people died. I lost my father, and my father told me that, Carol, when I use this medicine, I feel like I'm eating poison. So these things we experience, and we can't even talk about ourselves. I feel that at this present moment, there has been this movement where people even went on TV to have the guts and nerves to say we are going to test the vaccine in Africa because those Africans are not aware they are prostitutes. We can just test who. I mean, when you hear things like that as a black person, how can you sit back and say, you know what? And who say those things? Of course, you see it's white people. So there are lots of things that are taking place, educational level, on medical system, financials, rules and regulations of our movement. How do you move? Coming from Africa itself, there's these borders that are so tangled that we can't really move easily because of the system that was put upon us. There is lots of things that makes you feel like I just want to breathe. Just want to breathe. And when I say I want to breathe, I do not want you to feel guilty, but I want you to see that the system that it's created 500 years ago, it's not a system that we need to proceed with as times goes by. Recently, there was this, as I say, this coronavirus, this COVID-19 nonsense that has just taken place recently. We all knew that it started in China. And we all knew it was the story that they are eating this horrible food, da 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 da. And as you were still looking, suddenly it was made to be a black man's issue. Ah, that's not where we are going. That's not where we are going. So those black people who try to stand thinking that we are crazy by talking about this, some of them probably they are given food in their table. They didn't know how to look after themselves. That's why they feel like we have to apologize. We have to say, and me, I do not apologize. I'm saying the racism, it's not our story. Deal with it. Do not make us feel as if we need to navigate again through this world in a holes that hundreds of us we are given this much and people can navigate this world very freely. It's not okay because of we all deserve to live freely in this world. We all deserve to be the masters of our own universe. And I would like you to go on with your system. I would like you to live freely. I would like you to celebrate life as you do as a white person. And it's not in my power to give it to you. It is your system and it works. The only thing that I do not want is to think somewhere somehow that my hair, as people have said to the mother of Meghan Markle. Imagine this Rastafarian woman sitting there with a queen. All these things, all these languages. I have seen this poor woman who decided to marry this guy. How much she was trashed to the garbage because of where she came from. Barack Obama himself, he didn't have it easy, and we know what we are talking about. So when we see people like George Floyd killed in 2020 in a myth of this coronavirus, this is something that everyone has to stand for. So once again, all life matters, but black life needs to be respected, and we need to be acknowledged that we don't only belong to a little corner where everybody can come and do whatever that they want upon us. We've got a right to stand. And you know what I do? I say, if you're going to come to me and make me feel less, have yourself very clear because you're going to get it back. And that's what I do. Wherever I go, I fight back. And whoever who have came to my territory and my environment to try to make me feel useless, you're going to regret the moment you did that. And that's what I do. And I don't want to live in those in that kind of society where I have to always raise my voice so that you can understand that I exist. I'm saying peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Don't feel guilty, but take an action, especially white women. Take an action to say, we are sisters. So your son can be married to my daughter. My daughter can be married to your son. And I'm talking about all women here. This is time for us to move forward. And we are saying no to humiliation. We are saying no to the past of being made to feel as if we have no voices. We are all educated somewhere, somehow. As you see us in Europe, wherever we are the new generations of Africa. We are the new generations of Black saying, well, if you can do it, so I can do it. If I can do it, so you can do it. The only thing that we need to do is to hug each other and let my present be seen as I allow your present to be seen. Allow my present. So next time I'll talk about all different kinds of things that makes me really, really mad in this world of injustice and this racism, this, I don't even know what to call it. It just does not have to happen. It happens to me and I fight it. And I'm saying no to it and saying no to it. And I'm just saying to you, feel guilty. Do not feel guilty, but have a certain dialogue. Let's talk how to move forward so that the what's her name, the Amy there who called the cops on that man, knowing that her voice could make that man killed. Those women needs to change. I have never seen a black woman behaving in a certain way so that a white man can be killed. So when you think racism, it's not real, please do wake up and say it's time for us to take an action. Do not feel bad, do not feel guilty, but be the change of tomorrow because at this present moment, there's a change that it's needed. And that change means that I'm your sister, you're my sister. And I'm going to emphasize on that. We are all family. The fact that my best friend is a white man today, it means that I'm actually one in your family because of I sit with you guys, I eat with you guys, I laugh with you guys, I make jokes with you guys until I'm being attacked. And when I'm attacked, I then forget and wonder and I go to my friends and say, take responsibility. They don't even know what to do because of when you attack, you forget that they are white themselves. You also attack them. And this is the fact. Racism, it's a disease. Racism, it's an illness we were robbed our freedom since we were little girls and little boys in that high time that we regain our freedom. Because marching around, it's like me for really, really for real. Marching around, I'm not marching to say that a white man should give me his life. No. I'm not marching to say a white man does not deserve the life that he has designed for himself. No. He has worked very, very, very hard. You sacrificed your life as well. You sacrificed your life as well to be where you are. I love the way you protect your kids. I love the way you protect your women. I love because of I've been in a system of the Western world. I know the good side and I say bravo to the good side. And I think that if Black people themselves can learn how you have done it in the way of protecting their women's and their wives, then we can be a better community because there's something that you have we don't have, and there's something we have that you don't have. We don't hate. We don't hate. We don't see. I don't think that we think our life matters. I don't think that as I'm speaking to you right now, and I think because if I'm Black person, that my life matters more than the white person. I've never had that. I was never even told that. I don't know where to begin when I talk about that. But I was taught that you are working hard. I was taught that you have developed an amazing system. That's why when I wanted to learn the world, I came to Europe to get to learn about what my great grandmom and others have told me about your system of you guys, how you are organized, how I could come and learn how the Western world does it in organization. So there is beautiful things that I was told about you. That's what I want to learn the most. That's what I want to discover the most. That systematic that you have brought, that can really, really empower the world forever and ever and ever, instead of really bringing this scarcity and this fearness of people saying white supremacy. Why don't we call it white intelligence? And that intelligence, let it be the one that shines the world, instead of this I don't know, I don't even know what to say. So I clap for you, what you have done in your neighborhood. I clap for you, what you have created to protect your kids, and keep it up. But do not bring hatred in that positive state of mind that you have created. So, Black Lives Matters. Respect I. Yes, I need your knowledge. That's why most of our kids are in your universities. Yes, we need your knowledge, because somewhere, somehow, we value your knowledge, but we don't value how you look at us. The fact that we value your knowledge, it does not mean that we're less. We also have our own knowledge. We have our own indigenous knowledge that we reside upon. I'm one of those. I reside. I don't go for other people's education that much. I value the education that my forefathers and my great grandmoms and all of them have given me, and I reside on those. I'm very original. I'm very traditional. But I say to the new generation, go acquire knowledge, acquire the Western knowledge, because it will make you to have more clear a vision of where you're going. We are in this world not to survive, but we are in this world to strive, to strive. I love this woman, Meghan Markle, when she said, "It's not enough. It's not enough just to survive something. You gotta strive." So let us strive together. So when you say Black people are making white people feel kind of, how do you say it, guilt, it's not a guilt. It's creating a new movement forward of each other, holding hands. So this is Carol Matibula saying, Black Lives Matters, highly, highly, highly. So everyone, life matter, highly, highly, highly. One love. Thank you so much. Carol Matibula here.